Hello everybody, welcome back to Crafting Chaos with Melanie, and welcome back to day 12 of Falloween. And today is a good one. Today is going to be so much fun. So this is the plan. We are going to be making some embellishments today, and then we're going to take what we make today and turn it into cards and tags and probably a decoration for my tree. And then that would be Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to do another embellishment from another die set that I got. That's incredible. And then Friday, we're going to turn that into some things. Then Saturday, I plan on using everything that we've done through the week. Remember, we are on the food week, so it's kind of, treats and stamping out treats and what we can do with those. And Saturday, I'm either going to be making treat bags or we're going to be doing some kind of recipe folio situation. I'm working that out now, trying to figure out what I want to do there. So that's kind of a preview for the week. So today we are going to be using a die set from the Greetery. Now, this is the packaging. It doesn't come like this. It comes on this backer, like on this sheet, and it's glued. So I always take it off. I think I've showed you this before. And I just stick on a little magnetic sheet and I put my dies here. Now I will tell you, I am not a big fan of standalone dies. It's just not my thing. I don't know why. It's just something I really normally haven't enjoyed as much as I have this time. I don't know if it's because of what it is, and it just made me squeal when I saw it. Like when I say the fall release for the Greetery is amazing, it took all I had not to get all of it. It is stunning. But I didn't. I reframed. So we're going to be working this week with a lot of the stuff that I bought. So in today's video, we are going to be using the die set from the Greetery. And this is apples. This is candy apples. And I'm going to be honest with you, I do not know the name of it, but I will link it in the, it's called Caramel Apple Die. Oh, that's so cool. They have a little scan here, and you can scan it and get inspiration, I bet. That's cool. Okay, so Caramel Apple Die, we're going to be using that. Wait till you see this. Wait till you see this. These are embellishment pieces. Look at that. They look, well, look. You get to look at all of them. Oh my goodness, look at that. I spilled those everywhere. It's okay though, it sat on my desk. Those look like straight up nuts. Isn't that crazy? These are not nuts, guys. These are not edible in any way. So they're just an embellishment, and they look just like nuts. And when I saw those, I went nuts. Excuse the pun. But I just think, how creative is that? Are you serious? Listen, I loved them so much, I bought two. So I have two of those. And then, wait, it doesn't stop there. It gets better. Look at these. Look at that. Screaming shaker cards, shaker tags. Look at the sprinkles. The little rhinestones, the apples. Look at those apples. Let's see here. Let me get my little tweezers here. Look at those apples. How cute is that? Chunks of chocolate. Oh, perfection. Absolutely perfection. So I did get two of those too. Now, I don't know a lot about the Greetery. I just kind of discovered them. They have some beautiful products. I don't know if they, I don't know if it's an exclusive fall. So if this is something you like, I would run over there and I would grab it. I will have all this link in the description. So we're going to be using those today. We're going to be using some Distress Oxide inks. I'm going to be using Ground Espresso. I pulled in Rustic Wilderness. For leaves that come with it, but I don't know if we'll be using that. I also, to the side here, have lumberjack plaid, and twisted citron. And I'll show you what we're going to do with those. Okay, so we have these, and I will tell you, this is the one that we use the most right there. I do have my embossing pad, and I do have some embossing powder. I'm going to show you how I do this, but I'm not going to actually turn the gun on. I don't know. It's loud, guys. It's really loud, and I just don't know about that being on a video. It's, you know, maybe I could edit it out. I'm not for sure. I'll have to talk to my husband, my editor, and see how we do that. But I am going to be embossing today. All right, so we got that. And of course, I've got my precision glue gun that I'm loving from Sweet Petunia. Loving this thing. And I have some glossy accents. Now, this is Ranger Glossy Accents, and if I'm not mistaken, I got this one at Hobby Lobby. Close to My Heart has a similar product to this. I think Stampin' Up! Has a similar product to this. So there's a lot of different products that will get it. I think it's called Glass Effects maybe on one of them. I'm not for sure. But this is Glossy Accents. I will try to find it in the description at Amazon or somewhere and link it for you. Okay, so we are going to be making apples, guys. Oh my God, I'm so thrilled. I don't know where to start. I don't know if I should show you. You know what? I'm not. We're going to do it, and you're just going to get the ooh and the ah as we do it. Okay. So what I've done is I spent an hour or so. I would say an hour. Here, I'm fiddling a little bit. Die cutting all these images out. Okay. So you have your die sheet. So you have your apple die. So this is your whole apple. So I cut it out in a red. I used one piece of 12 by 12 paper, and I got 16 apples, I believe. I got a lot of apples, okay? This is from Recollections. This is just red cardstock that I got at Michael's, so I cut those out. And I also did a green for Granny Smith, okay? So we have those. This is like the little topping swirl, like a little swirl of caramel or whatever. And that's this die right here. The stick, and wait till you see the stick. You're not going to see it right now. Whenever we ink it, you'll see it. It's wood grain. It's actually embossed with a wood grain. I absolutely love it. All right. Then I die cut a bunch of the toppings. So these are this and this, the little toppings. So we have all those die cut. And then I just die cut some of the bows, okay? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is a caramel apple. All right, so let's see here. So what I did, what I like to do on this to give it a little bit more depth, I like to find a color that's similar to the cardstock. And in this case, I thought it was lumberjack plaid. And I like to just kind of ink it a little bit and just give it a little bit more depth. Now, guys, I'm just going on my work surface here because this is just a piece of white paper. I think We Are Memory Keepers sells this, or We Are Makers, and it's just a big pad, and it's like 18 by something. So that's what I'm using. So I just go right on that. And it's hard for, you know, to see this on camera, I'm sure, but in person, it does add a little bit of depth to it, okay? So this one, we are just going to put some peanuts on the apple, okay? I'm just going to show you the difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Nuvo. Now, what this is a little confusing. Whenever you buy the glue press, you get an empty bottle to where you could put whatever glue you want in it. And I put art glitter glue. And I want to use art glitter glue on this because I know the glue. It dries fast and it's going to stick. So we are going to use the art glitter glue. So what I'm going to do is literally just put glue dots. That's all I'm doing, guys. I'm putting glue dots on this. Okay, now I'm going to put this up. I'm going to pull in my little fake nuts here. And I'm just going to get some out and I'm going to stick them on there. This is so much fun. You talking about relaxing. This is so relaxing. And I have made a bunch of these already, but I didn't want to show you the end ones until you saw the process, because the payoff is amazing. Look at that one. And I will tell you, this glitter, this art glitter glue, it sticks, guys. You don't have to worry about these nuts. They're not coming up. I mean, obviously, you don't want to get super rough with it, but for the most part, they're glued down. So I'm just using tweezers here because these are substantial. These aren't like little sequences or, you know, just little things. These, honestly, they just feel like nuts. So that's all I did. No rhyme or reason, and I just put a few nuts on them, okay? So we have that, and we're going to get our stick. And what I did on the stick, and you know what, I might go ahead and get some paper over here because I don't want to just, all right. So I'm going to bring my ground espresso over here. Wait till you see this. And I am just going to ink this little stick. And I'm getting this dark. Now, you could just cut this out of brown cardstock if you wanted to. I wanted to play a little bit with this espresso or with the Distress Oxide inks. So I'm going to lift this up and see if the camera will focus on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, and this even has a little slit. I missed one. Uh-oh. I was being too rough. Being a little bit too rough, and my guess that's already dried. I would say, let's just put a little bit more glue there. Now, the great thing about art glitter glue, it does dry clear, so you don't have to worry about it. All these little white spaces. So this has a slit. It's genius. They thought of everything for you to put your little stick in. So what I'm going to do is, and you know what, you might as well just go ahead and do the back too. I didn't think about that, but go ahead and just ink that back. And we're going to take this and we're going to stick it in there. And all I'm going to do is flip it over, right? And I'm just going to glue it. So I'm just going to put some glue here. Hold that down. Oh my goodness, look at that. All right, so we got apple 1. This isn't my favorite. This is the simple one. This is just showing you can just cut it out, throw you some nuts on it, and be done, okay? I will show you the one I did earlier with this. And what I did with this one is I clear embossed it. And I just put the nuts everywhere. So that's this, right? How realistic do these look? These are so cute. Okay, so let's just put these to the side. All right, so now what are we going to do? Let's go ahead and do another one. And we're going to go ahead and do a caramel drizzle. Now, to me, this is designed to be caramel. So what I want to do is I'm going to take my espresso, my ground espresso ink, and I'm going to ink it pretty heavy on the sides, right? And then I'm just going to come in lightly like that. All right, so let's take this, and this is made for the top, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my art glitter glue because it's out. Guys, there is so much. These are so stinking cute. Wait till you see the companion stamp set we're using tomorrow. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're just going to take this and we're going to glue this on, and it just forms right to the shape of the apple. Look at that. All right, so now this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add our nuts, right? I'm just putting dots. We're going to add some nuts. Okay, so let's put the lid on that glue and get some more nuts over here. And these, I'm just picking them out with these tweezers because it's easy. And you might be thinking, man, Melanie, I am not doing that. This is not my thing. I am not spending all this time picking out little pieces of nuts. And you know what? That's fine. I'm going to show you another way of doing this. But I just wanted to show you, you know, different ways. Honestly, to me, this is satisfying. This is satisfying. And I will tell you, this is the first standalone die set that you have to put paper pieces together. I mean, this is paper piecing that I have done in years. Like I said, I don't gravitate to the little pieces. Even with Cricut, you know, I'm not one of those that does a layering image and just, you know, spends all this time putting it all together. It's not my thing. This, I love it. All right, so that one, we just put a few little nuts. And this one looks a little bit different. Let's pull this back in. See the difference? See, you added this. I think it definitely gives it more depth. So this would be just like a candy apple with a few nuts. Now we went to this one that's more of a caramel apple, right? Or it's a candy apple, or just a regular apple, I would say, with some nuts. I gotta quit touching that. It's not dry. Do as I say, not as I do, right? All right, so we're going to take the stick and we're going to do the same thing in the ground espresso. Now this one, you're not going to put it on the slit. You're just going to stick this on the back. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right down the center. And I'm going to take this stick and I'm just going to put it on the back. All right. Now, I'm going to show you something real quick. What you can do. Not on this one, it's the next one. All right, so let me find the one that I did earlier. Okay, so these two. This is the one that I did earlier. This is the one now. Look at that. Aren't those pretty? Now, this you can really see. See, this one I didn't ink. I just went with the cardstock. I didn't do any inking around the edges. This one I did. And I can see it. I hope you can see it. You can tell the difference. This is a little bit toned down. They both look good though. Okay, so there's the second one, right? So let's just put this to the side as it dries. Should I do my favorite? Okay, we're going to do an easy one now. All right, so we're going to bring this over. We're going to bring another red one over. And I am going to ink this because this one's just a simple one. I want to ink around. All right, so this is a drizzle. This is drizzle. Now, I'm going to go ahead. To me, I'm not going to color this one. I look at this as like a white chocolate. That's what we're going to go for. We're going to pretend like this is white chocolate. Okay. So all I'm going to do is take this precision press, and this is where this thing is so good. This is a fine stamp, right? This is fine. So you have to get that glue line really thin. And the larger piece goes at the top of the apple, so you're just going to find where that goes, right? Now you're going to see all that glue, but that glue dries clear, and you're never going to see that. Look how easy that is. Look how easy that is. Oh, and look how pretty it is. All right, so let's flip this over. And we are going to do the stem, the stick. How many of y'all make caramel and candy apples? I'll tell you a funny thing. I love a candy apple from the fair. And back in Virginia, we have a big fair, the Russell County Fair. And I I don't know, the older I get, I just didn't, it just wasn't something that I enjoyed going to as much. So I wanted the candy apples. So anybody who knew me would call me, close friends or family, say, listen, you want a candy apple? I'm like, yes, get me a candy apple. So I always had somebody to get me candy apples from the fair, whether I went or not. Fair food is so good, isn't it? It's horrible for you, but it's good. Look at that. So this is the one I made earlier. Isn't that cute? Guys, these are so cute. These are so cute. All right, let's do a green apple. And I did this one in red earlier, and I'm going to do it in green now. And this is my favorite one that I did. So we're going to pull over the top piece, right? We're going to make this a caramel piece. We're doing a caramel apple. And I love a Granny Smith caramel apple. It's my favorite. If I'm going to eat a caramel apple, I want the Granny Smith because I want that sour, that little bit of sourness with the sweet. It's so good. It's so good. So we're going to take our glue and we're going to glue this down, right? And we're going to put that on there. And we're going to press down. We want this pressed down really good. Let me flip this over. I want you to see what I'm doing. This was my favorite. This was absolutely my favorite one. All right, that glossy accent. Now this dries clear, and this takes a minute to dry, especially the way we're going to be using it right now. So I'm just going to shake it up. And I'm going to take my glossy accents, and I am going to go all over this as even as I can on this caramel drizzle, right? And you have time with this to, you know, you don't have to rush. You do have time to make sure you get this really good and even. Let's flip this around. Oh my goodness, this is, wait till you see this one. This is so good. Now, whenever I eat caramel apples, I don't like nuts. I'm not a nut person, but most people do. I'm weird. I don't like cheese either. I'm so weird. All right, do you see that? Now, watch this. We're going to pull these nuts in, and it's just like you're doing it. We're just going to drizzle those nuts on there. We're just going to drizzle them. And they're just going to go right down in that. Look at that. We're just going to drizzle them on there. All right. Look how easy that is. And where that is so wet and thick, when it dries, those nuts are just going to dry in it. This is my favorite one. I will tell you, this was my favorite one. I did it in the red, so like a red delicious apple. Oh, look at this. Tell me how pretty this is. I'm sorry, this is pretty. This is just, I just want to squeal. Whenever I do something really cool, I run through the house and show Maggie and Craig. It's so funny. And they just look at me. And of course, they're like, oh, that's cool. But you know, in their head, they're thinking, wow, she's a crazy lady. All right. Look at that, how pretty. Now, I did do this earlier. Now, I'm not going to worry about the stick yet on this one. I'm going to let this dry, okay? Here, let me get a couple more little pieces on that one drizzle. There. I'm just trying to hand pick a little small one. We're going to get that there. All right. Look at that, how pretty. And we're going to let this one dry, okay? We're going to put this to the side, and I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to pull in the red one that I did, and I put a bow on the red one. I could sit and look at this all day. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that, how pretty. Look at that, how pretty. I want to show you something. I'm just going to grab a tag here that I have. And we're going to be doing this tomorrow, but look at this. Put this on a tag with a cute saying and tied on a candy apple. Oh my goodness, guys. This is just too cute. These are too cute. All right. Okay, we're going to do another one. All right, let's bring this down. We're going to go from the bottom. So we're going to bring this. And I'm going to treat this like white chocolate. Okay, I don't want it to be caramel. I want it to be like a white chocolate. So we're just going to glue this on. Glue that on, and I'm going to just take it to where it covers the apple. Look at that. Oh, guys, I could just look at this all day. Now, you could do two things. You could take this. We could emboss, or we could take this with the ground espresso, make it look like a chocolate drizzle, and you could just put a chocolate drizzle on there. But we are going to pull in some sprinkles. All right, so I'm just going to put these here. And I'm just going to spread them out so you can look at that goodness. And we are going to take some glue. And I'm just going to do a bunch of glue. Now, and I will come back in and do some more. You could do the glossy accents here. You could, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do these. Now I'm putting a couple of pieces of the chocolate first. Get those bigger pieces on there. I'm going to do a couple of those. And then I'm going to come in here with the little swirlies. Look at those, how cute. So we're just making a sprinkled little candy sprinkles on these. Look at that, how cute. Oh my gosh. These are adorable. These are just, guys, this is stinking cute. This isn't just cute. This is just insanely perfection cuteness right here. And let's see, let's put us a little swirly cue there. And let's get some little, no, I don't want that there. I get picky, guys. I do. I can't help it. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's get that over there. Now, I think we need some more. I think, let's just do some more. We're going to take, now, we're going to bring in some nuts. All right. I'm just going to put on some of these nuts here. Get some of these sprinkles. I love the sprinkles. Love it. And I'll tell you what I would do. I think I will probably do this for tomorrow's video. Do the liquid glass. And just use these sprinkles, right? Now you could also glitter. You could put glitter here. You could put embossing powder. There's a lot you could do. All right, how cute is that? How cute is that? Oh. And what I love about these they're easy to put up. You know, they're not going anywhere. I'm putting those out because I'm going to put those on there. I think we need a few more pieces, so I'm going to pull those out. And I'm just going to put these back in here real quick. These are so easy to clean up. As you saw at the beginning of the video when I spilt the peanuts. All right, so we're going to do there, we're going to do there, we're going to do there. All right, so let's just pick this up. I've got glue on my tweezers. That little picker would do good here, like a little pick that you use for your, oh my goodness, you know what else would work here? I just thought of that. The, what do you call that? The diamond press dots. I have so many of those, guys. I might have to pull those out. Those would look so cute here. Now, there we go. How cute is that? That is cute. Okay, let me pull the one in I did earlier. Now, the one I did earlier, I did it like it was caramel, and I put the stick and the bow in it. What do you think? I'll finish these up when they glue. Now, I want to show you one other thing, and that's with this. I told you about the embossing. And guys, the embossing does make a difference. It does. It makes it look like a candy apple. So I'm going to show you what to do, but I'm not going to use my gun, okay? What you do is you find an embossing pad. Now this, it has to be an embossing pad. I know Versamark has one, and I have that Versamark. I just don't have it with me on my desk. So what's so different about this ink is that it's very wet, but it's sticky. It's super, super sticky, right? So what I do is I take the apple. And I just press it in this really good, making sure that I have that stickiness everywhere. And you can tell, you can see it. And I've missed a lot of spots on this side. So I'm going to come over here, and I am going to do some more, put some more at the top. Okay, now, let me pull this out of the way. Whenever you're doing embossing powder, I always like to get a piece of paper. And I'm just going to use this right here that we were using, but I'm going to have it on the clean part, because this could be wet, and if it's wet, the embossing powder will stick to it. Okay, so now I'm going to take this apple, and I am using clear embossing powder from Simon Says Stamps. This is Simon Says Stamps embossing powder, clear. So you want to cover it in your embossing powder, right? You're going to cover that up. And guys, embossing powder can make a mess. You have to make sure that you have it to where you can get it back up. And then I'm just going to take my little tweezers that I have here, if I can get it under there. And I'm going to go on the side. Okay. Then what you do is you're going to take this to the side so you don't blow it everywhere, and you take your heat tool. And this is an embossing gun. I think this came from Michael's a couple of years ago. I'm not for sure. I had one for like 20 years, and it finally died on me, and I got that one from Stampin' Up. I know where I got that one. You can get these anywhere. You can get them at Michael's. You can get them on Amazon. I'm sure May probably has one. Catherine Puller may have them. But what this is a heat tool. You do not want to use this around anything that's going to melt. Guys, this gets hot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it on low and pray that it's not super, super duper loud. I'm going to show you. It's worth showing you, especially if you're watching this video and you've never embossed before. So I'm going to show you real quick. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this over here, right? I'm going to pull this over here, and I'm going to take it off here, muffle it a little bit. And what you want to do is you want let it get hot for a minute. And this one has two settings. It has a high and a low, and I'm going to try the low because it's not as noisy, and we're going to see. And I want you to just watch this. Now I'm going to take my tweezers and just hold the edge there. And I'm just going to come in here. And you're going to watch this turn right there. You see it? Look at that. It's just turning clear. And that's how you know you've got, look at that. Oh my goodness. I hope the camera's picking this up. This is so satisfying. I love this. And you just want to go all over the apple. And boom. It's embossed. Now, whenever you're embossing, you want it to set just a minute. That's a lot of embossing powder. So I let it set just for a second or two because it will take the impression while it's still hot. So anything that touches it, if you press down, it will take the impression. Look at that. That looks like a candy apple. Now, there are a few spots here, right here and right here, that could use some more embossing powder, and all you would do is stick it once it's cool, and it's already cool. You would just stick it back in the ink and get up real good and emboss it again. And look what a difference that makes. This is the one I did earlier. So let's take this in. Look at that. So if you want to do a true candy apple, this is a good way to get that effect. And also a good way would be to take your glossy accents, and I just found my Close to My Heart. I do have Close to My Heart. Your Close to My Heart liquid glass. It is called liquid glass. So either, you know, whatever you have, and just take it and put it all over the apple. And I have one here put to the side that I done earlier, and it's not completely dry yet. There's still an area right here that's still drying because you could still see it. But that looks, and I'll tell you, this really takes on the form of a candy apple because, let's see if you can see this. Get it out of the red. You have little air bubbles. You see the little air bubbles? And when I make candy apples, I have little air bubbles. So I would say the glossy accent definitely gives you the most realistic candy apple look. All right. So let's show what we did today. All right, these are the ones that I had done earlier. So we have the one, isn't that darling? And we have one with just the nuts. We have with just the white chocolate on it. Then we have them with the caramel and the nuts, right? And then this is the one I'm finishing up, which is the Granny Smith. And I really think this is one of my favorite. I love this. Look at that. Look how thick that is on there. And right here is the red one that I did earlier like that. So we have those. What do you think? Oh my goodness, how fun is this? How fun is this? I will make sure everything is linked down below, so you will have an opportunity. As of when I started this video, everything was still in stock, so I will link it. And if this is something you like, guys, go get it. Go get it. It also comes with a bow die, and we'll be using these tomorrow, so I did get some of those out. It comes with a very detailed leaf die. I used wintergreen on this. No, rustic wilderness. And I don't know if I'm loving that color on these, but you have these pretty leaves. So you could put that there. So tomorrow, make sure you come back for Wednesday's video because we are going to be making some really cool projects using these candy apple and caramel apples. Remember, give this video a like and a subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. And until we meet again, which will be tomorrow, I will see you tomorrow for day 13 of Falloween. Wow, we are really getting up there. All right, guys, till tomorrow. Bye.